Just a quick disclaimer before I get this video started. This will be a bit of a longer video, not too long, just a bit of a longer video. So make sure you guys grab your coffee, snack, protein, dinner, late lunch, whatever the case. Make sure you guys grab that, and let's get right into this video. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And the reason I wanted to make this video today and talk a bit more about the situation that's unfolding, but I believe now that T-Mobile has a target on its back in regards to competition and really two carriers now that are ready to battle. So that tells me that T-Mobile is getting to AT&T and Verizon. So the first one was AT&T. They did a press release targeting T-Mobile, saying that they have the better network, the larger network, the more reliable network, right? Citing claims of RootMetrics and Ookla. Not talking about Verizon at all during that time, right? Today, here goes Verizon with a national ad campaign now, using Kevin Hart as a partner, targeting T-Mobile, not mentioning AT&T. AT&T didn't mention Verizon in its press release. And today, in the ad, Verizon is not mentioning AT&T. Both of them are targeting T-Mobile. So that's why I said T-Mobile has a target on its back. So backtracking 15 years ago, T-Mobile was at the forefront of this type of marketing, right? If you guys remember, John used to use Dumb and Dumber. You guys would see the network ads on TV. He was bashing the competition. But at that time, Verizon and AT&T hardly saw them as a threat, so they would never care to respond. I would say the biggest response that T-Mobile got from the competition is when they moved back to unlimited. I think that was the only real big response that T-Mobile ever got, right? I guess you can say they did move away from contracts and they went to phone financing. I guess you can say that's another one. But today, fast forward to today, totally different ballgame. T-Mobile is at a much larger scale now, getting partnerships like the one that you see on screen, right? They would have never been partners in anything 15 years ago that had to do with anything big like the Olympics or anything else for that matter. Wouldn't have never happened. We never got articles like that, right? Until we got Un-carrier moves, everything evolving around T-Mobile was relatively quiet. They would never get, we got this partnership with Southwest that was just announced recently. We got Delta coming in. We never got anything like that during those times, right? Now, T-Mobile is getting business partnerships. They're learning. They're aggressively chasing a more reliable network, partnering like what you see now again with the Olympics, and who knows what else they can achieve in the future, or what else is already in the works that's not known publicly at this time, right? So when I say T-Mobile has a target on its back, I really think they do now. Both competitors are targeting them without mentioning each other. That's crazy, right? If I'm Verizon, I would even put AT&T in there, because AT&T is saying they have the largest native network. They have this. They have the most reliable. They won RootMetrics. If I'm Verizon, I'm even throwing them in there. I would have had Kevin Hart say, and AT&T, we're better than you too, right? So this is I don't want to say it's getting crazy, but it's getting very competitive, and I think that's going to make it. It's going to make it fun for us, the consumer. It's going to make it fun for the that's going to come. A lot of stuff is going to come out of this, and it's going to be a back and forth, right? We might have T-Mobile respond to Verizon now with another ad, with something different. Who knows, right? Creative, right? And then they go back and forth, which is good, right? It's good for competition. And, you know, this may make T-Mobile launch something, and then Verizon might launch something, and then AT&T might come out with something. So it's a good back and forth. It's a very competitive back and forth. And I think this is something that we've needed a long time ago. But Verizon just now, I guess, cared to really take it more serious. So that tells me, with everything that has happened, right, the numbers, the ports, the growth, everything, that tells me T-Mobile is getting to Verizon. And I think that's what T-Mobile is going to use in their prepared remarks and their messaging when they're asked about this, right? If they're asked about it, maybe at the next earnings call, I think this will be in the prepared remarks, right? They're going to use it, and they're going to flip this to their strength, right? They're going to say, at least if it was me, I would have Mike Sievert put that in the prepared remarks at the earnings call. I would say recently, my competitors have been calling us out. That tells you everything you need to know. We have the best network. We're getting to them. We're growing. We're scaling. We're taking their customers. I would use that to my advantage if I'm T-Mobile. I don't know if they will, but the fact that both competitors are targeting you and they're not talking about each other means you're getting to them in a big way. To get Verizon to come out with an ad like that, that's marketing dollars they have to use. And it's not cheap to use Kevin Hart, right? They could have used anyone else, but they chose to use Kevin Hart as an ad partner. So they wanted to go big on this. They wanted that ad to be impactful, to really have a deep message like, hey, we still have the best network. It's not you, right? Not all testing is equal. It's all not the same, right? They're pretty much saying Ookla's test method that T-Mobile is using is BS, right? That's pretty much what they're saying indirectly. But it's working. T-Mobile's messaging is working. It's resonating with the market. They're getting new switchers. They're getting more and more CIOs and businesses they're coming to the table. So it's clearly working. So now Verizon has no choice but to respond. They had to. And they will continue. We will see that ad, guarantee you, we'll see it at some of the big games, the football games, college games. We better at this point, right? We better see it because this is what competition is all about. And now Verizon had no choice. They're being backed into a corner and they had no choice, right? AT&T, they're not really backed into a corner. They have great assets, right? They just purchased Dish and some other spectrum. But yet, even they felt the need to call this out in the press release. So, again, times have changed. T-Mobile is a stronger player. It was called out during the merger. There were several people that said this is a network that Verizon and AT&T will face that is more competitive than any network that they've ever dealt with before. And we're seeing that today. I've said it many a times, and it's coming to fruition. And now we're seeing Verizon do something very out of character, right? So calling out a competitor. They've never done that before, but now they have to because they know T-Mobile is coming and T-Mobile's just getting better, right? That's really the thesis here. T-Mobile is getting better, right? There's no other way to put it. They are getting better. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.